Hello everybody, this is my Apollo Pro 52 volts. As you can see, I took the top of the deck off and basically disassembled everything. And the reason being is my front motor was cutting in and out, like it wasn't wanting to work. When it was in single motor, it was running fine. But when I put it into dual motor, the front wheel was catching, like vibrating a little bit, and then all of a sudden it would go, and it would stop again, and then it would go. And then the front tire started vibrating, and the whole scooter started going really slow. Then all of a sudden, I lost power up on the handlebars completely. So I had to push the scooter home about a half a mile. So I have only had this scooter for 10 months, so it's still under the warranty as far as parts and labor. Apollo doesn't really answer their phone on Fridays anyways, so I had to open up a ticket, which I probably won't hear no response from until Monday at the very soonest. So I decided to take the scooter apart and see what's going on. Well, I assumed that since the front motor was acting funny, that it had something to do with either the motor or the front controller. Which, this is the front controller. So this is extremely burnt up. There's a little, like, plastic piece. There's definitely a fire inside that motor controller. So, to my surprise, this is a little more basic than I thought. Here's the 52 volt battery. It goes in here, stops about here. This right here is a little 12 volt converter. It operates the front and the back lights. And then the two controllers sit right here. So, here's the front motor wire. It goes into here and, comes out here to the motor. Pretty easy, basically. The front motor, well, let's start with the rear motor controller. The rear motor controller was hooked to the rear motor. This is the cable. It slides all the way in here. Okay, so the controller plugs in, the rear controller plugs into the rear motor. But from there, it plugs into the front controller. Now, these are all the handlebar accessory wires. Now, they all piggyback into the front controller, which leads me to believe that that's the reason why the voltage regulator and the screen doesn't turn on, because they get their power from the front motor controller. I'm not a mechanic in any way. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, so I'm deferring all this on my own. But the front motor controller, there's two different styles, front and rear. I purchased a new one from Rev Rides. Cost me $60. I might have it on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I'm going to probably put this bad boy back together. But I figured I would make this video because I wanted to show people how basic and how easy these scooters are to work on. They actually are. Like, this right here is the motor wire. I could take this motor off completely, free it from the scooter completely, which is nice. Yeah, if you have a problem with these scooters, there's not that much stuff that it could be. So, yeah, but my front motor controller is definitely burned up. These right here are the charging port plugs. They plug into the battery right here. These are the two controller plugs that plug into the battery. They both have a fuse in there. I did take pictures of most of the wires, so when I plug them back together, hopefully it'll work. Yeah, the only thing I'm not sure about is if the RevRides controller, which is for the 010X, which is a sister scooter, will work fine with the Apollo rear controller. I may be in contact with Apollo early in the week. Maybe they'll send me out a warranty controller, and I won't even use the RevRides controller. But I'm antsy, so I don't really want to wait for correspondence. I'm definitely not sending my scooter back to Apollo for this issue. Yeah, it's pretty cool how the front steering stabilizer, I didn't really have to disassemble the whole thing. I just had to unhook it from the top of the deck board. So, yeah. The crazy thing is that I just spent $186 on the seat setup. I've waited 5 weeks for it to get here. It's going to get here Wednesday, and now my scooter's down. So I'll get the seat in the mail. Won't even be able to try it. So, yeah. So I just went ahead and did the right thing. I bought the Calbo Wolf Warrior X Pro from Voro Motors for $2,000. So, yeah, when I get this one put back together, I'll have 2 scooters. So, yeah. I don't like to be down. I don't like to be able to not ride. So, I figure if I have 2 scooters, they probably won't be down at the same time. So, yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for watching.